Here's a quick video to summarize the book survey results. 52 people took the survey, and 47 of them said they would be interested in buying my book. Out of the 47 people who won my book, around 80% have used Amazon before, while 64% have used Kindle. This shouldn't be too much of a problem because the Kindle app is free to download on PC and mobile devices. 94% of the respondents want an electronic version of the book, while 57% want a printed version, and 60% want an audiobook. One question I'd like you to answer in the comment section is whether the audiobook should contain the vocabulary and grammar notes, or just the stories. If you're fine with the audiobook having only the stories narrated in Japanese, I can make the audiobook version very cheap so that you can purchase it along with either a printed or electronic version. Next, 74% of the respondents prefer the stories to be at the intermediate level of proficiency. However, a few respondents requested that I should write stories at different levels of difficulty. So here's an idea. How about I write 70 to 80% of the stories at the intermediate level and the rest at the beginner and advanced levels? More than 3/4 of the respondents prefer each story to be 4 pages or shorter, so I will make sure that the stories won't be longer than 5 or 6 pages each. 70% of the respondents think the book should contain 6 to 10 stories, while 23% want 11 or more stories. Perhaps a good solution would be to write 10 stories at the intermediate level and write a few more at the beginner and advanced levels. The next question was the most important. 34% of the respondents would be willing to pay $10 to $14, while 28% would pay $5 to $9. How about I make the printed version in the $10 to $14 range, the electronic version in the $5 to $9 range, and the audiobook in the $1 to $4 range? The next question suggests that opinions are divided as to how many drawings should be inserted in each story. I will probably draw only a few drawings per story. I might even ask my viewers for collaboration, as drawing is not my forte. 34% of the respondents want the Japanese text on the left page and the English translation on the right page. This should be possible in the printed version, so I will try to make it happen. In the electronic version, however, I don't think this is possible, so I will add the translation at the end of each story, as 32% of the respondents requested. 49% of the respondents want the vocabulary and grammar notes to be included at the bottom of each page as footnotes, while 45% prefer to have them at the end of a story as a glossary. I think a good compromise would be to provide brief explanations on some of the more advanced phrases in the footnotes, while providing more detailed and comprehensive notes in the glossary at the end. Finally, the most popular genre among the respondents was slice of life, followed by comedy and mystery, adventure, science fiction and fantasy, philosophical, crime thriller, romance and detective, coming of age, horror and fake biography, fairy tale, nonsense, tragedy, and the least popular genre was children's. I'm currently working on the first story, aimed at intermediate learners. As soon as the first draft is finished, I will ask one of my viewers to have a read and provide some feedback. If you're an advanced learner of Japanese, and if you can promise not to disseminate the story on the internet, please contact me via email. The first person to do so will be selected.